Smells it now. Hi guys, it's episode 18 of Speakin Geek.
Episode 18?
Let's just go with 18.
Yeah, we'll go with 18. We'll go with 18. So, it's episode 8. This bit's run its course.
Yeah.
So, it's me, Graham.
And I'm Olivia.
And I'm Shane.
And unfortunately, we have no Tom.
Let's have a moment of silence for Tom.
We really shouldn't. This is an audio. we can't. That's dead air. That's considered. No.
That's when everyone's trying to be like, do I have this thing on mute? Or
that's what's going to happen.
We do have sad news though, because Anthony, who often did the podcast with us, is stepping away from his Big Ireland work.
We're going to miss him.
Him and his girlfriend had a baby, and he moved out of Dublin.
Yeah.
He's moved outside the Pale, so I don't know where he is.
Because no one outside the Pale, you don't know where anyone outside Dublin is. Where are they gone? Dead.
No, he's gone back to Offaly as far as I know.
Yeah.
And
that's a lesson. Never have children.
So he
will be missed,
and he's busy with full-time work and stuff, so he's not really involved with Gig Ireland anymore, sadly. But we'll see what cons.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
So unfortunately, no more Moon Knight interviews. No, he was our Moon Knight.
No, but he did tell me that he is going to be at DCC with his wife and their baby.
Yay!
in cosplay.
Oh, I hope they're trying to find a matching cosplay.
They should do
so cute.
They should dress up as like Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and then have the baby dressed up as like Dash or something.
I think I heard I think Eilish is trying to make them match, and she's figured out something. And Anthony told me he just wants to dress up as Moon Knight again. He wants to dress up as the one in the suit. You know that one?
Oh yeah. And I know last year was it. DCC last year, there was a family and they were dressed. It was brilliant. It was Batman, Catwoman, and then they had two kids, and it was like a boy and a girl, and they were like Robin, Harley Quinn, or something like that. It was just really cute. It was really funny.
I thought that's adorable. That is so wrong. You need Huntress and Robin. That's what you have.
In relation to that, though, my friend, his second name is Quinn, and he had a baby girl.
And he named her Harley.
And he named her Harley, so she is named...
Like Kevin Smith.
But Kevin Smith called his child Harley Quinn Smith.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad as when Nicolas Cage named his son Kal-El. He named his son Kal-El.
What's as bad as what's his name? Kim Basinger and
Alec
Baldwin. They called their kid Ireland.
Really?
Ireland Baldwin, yeah.
That's not that bad.
I always remember it was in our Irish books in like junior cert or something. It was in the
seriously?
Yeah, it was like an article that we had, like, was in Irish and we had to translate it into English.
Yeah, what kind of books did you have?
They also had a really terrible article which was about Colin Meaney, and he was referring to how he was Captain O'Brien in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Captain,
I know. I was like, he's Chief O'Brien. And
he's Chief Engineer.
Yeah, and I remember we were doing it in class, and I was like, he's Chief O'Brien. And the teacher was just like, Shane, shut up.
But I mean, like, no, he never became a captain, did he?
No.
Not even in Deep Space Nine.
No.
He was like tortured by the Dominion.
No, never.
Things were weird back then. Yeah. I mean, Irish men could be in space.
Yeah. He also said bollocks a lot. Because you could get past the censors.
It's because they never knew what it meant.
Well, they get past censors. So.
Because what also happened is when I took my sister to see Tomorrowland, towards the end, Hugh Laurie exclaims, "Oh, bollocks!"
Oh, he does.
Yeah. And of course, we leave the cinema, and I should point out, my sister is 8.5 years old, and all she keeps saying is, "That was so funny," and he goes, "Oh, bollocks!" And I was like, "Oh, shite! You cannot be saying this when Dad comes to pick us up in like 10 minutes." So
he's playing Disney.
I convinced her that what he said was "oh, box." But then when she started saying "oh, box," I was like, do you know what? That just sounds just
worse.
as bad. So let's just.
Worse.
I was like, do you know what? It's not actually that funny now that you keep saying it. She goes, "Yeah, I know." I was like, when you're retelling the story, you just say "oh, darn it." So that's what she's done.
That worked.
So I told
oh, darn it.
Oh, darn it. So I told my dad what happened, and he was just like, "Yeah, all right."
Hearing Hugh Laurie say "oh, darn it" doesn't sound right. No, just like if you picture it in your head, it just does not sound cool. So
bollocks always, they do it a lot. English actors always do it.
Yeah.
Or the other one is wanker.
Yes, we get that past a lot of people.
It's a. I'm so bad at names.
It's okay, Shane. It's okay. It's just the old age hitting you, and the fact that you're now married. Shane's married.
Yay!
Since last we were together,
a month ago.
Yeah,
today, pretty much, or
Wait, really?
2 days ago.
Well,
Sixth.
how is it? You know, it was a lovely wedding.
Great.
It was lovely. I loved the dancing. Loved the food.
Oh,
I was especially upset that I could not go on the barge afterwards.
You could have. You just.
I know. I had to leave early to do an interview with Masako X, who voices Goku out of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and then he couldn't do the interview.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I know. And I was just like, me and Breed were just like, oh no,
I
we could have
gave up
stayed.
the
We could have
barge
stayed.
for this.
Yeah, because a barge. You know, when you go with friends on a barge, it's really cool.
It was deadly. It was really...
Like Rosie and Jim style.
Well, no, this is a
Except not
Guinness
creepy.
barge, so it's like a wide barge. It's way
Oh,
cooler.
okay.
They're way cooler.
Mm.
Anyway, speaking of interviews,
Yes.
Graham just interviewed Troy Baker.
Oh my god,
Okay.
it was so amazing. I was shaking. I was shaking when I was like, they asked, "Do you want drinks?" And I went, "I'll just have a water." And when I picked up the water, it was a pint of water. It was just like going to this, and there was water going over some stuff. He did not notice, thank God.
No, he was just really polite.
Or really polite. He is American, but he's really tall.
Oh really?
He's 6'3".
So he could. Do you think he could actually play the Joker live action?
Yes, he's actually cut his hair in the style of the New 52 Joker. So if he dyed his hair, put on some pale skin, like pale makeup, not pale skin, you know what I mean?
Kill the white man.
Kill the white man.
Take his skin and wear it as a mask.
Which the Joker does at one point in the comics.
Yeah.
He would actually, I really think he could do a really convincing cosplay of the Joker. He could play him live, and it would be amazing. But like he's a really cool guy, and it was like it was really interesting just listening to him and his wife Pamela talk about the experiences of going to conventions. How he originally wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
And
Was that why he brought the guitar with him?
Oh yeah, he's a really good singer. He's very the way my little sister described him, very David Bowie-esque, which was incredible because I was like, how does my sister know David Bowie? And
2 cool points for sisters.
yeah, like I was like, how do you know David Bowie? I saw the Prestige recently. Okay.
That's terrible.
It's a good film.
No, I mean that's terrible. That's how
That's
she
how
knows
she
it.
knows. Out of all of his accomplishments,
Or Zoolander.
even Labyrinth would have been better than
Yeah,
that.
or the Man Who Fell to Earth.
Never seen him.
It's really weird.
Yeah. He's doing a play.
No.
He's doing a play of it. It's just like,
So
wow,
weird.
you must have no time on your hands right now.
It's 3 hours of these really boring scenes, but then it's really profound.
Like a lot of.
Yeah.
But Troy was amazing, and he explained, how he wanted originally to be a musician, and he that didn't really pan out as well as he'd hoped. So one day he was just in the voice booth, and there was a car dealership ad going on next door. And he said, "Could I try that out? Sounds fun." And I said, "No, go away." And then he got a message like a week or two later. You'll hear it in the interview.
Yeah.
And he said, "Come back. We like your voice, basically." And that's how it all began.
He's just doing
He's
voiceover
just
for an
like,
ad.
to be fair, listening to him, he has a very, he's one of those kind of guys that it's just like you know that he can really portray characters and that really well. He's got a very strong voice, very articulate, and he's very interesting to talk to.
No,
And the interview will be on this podcast, so the podcast will run a little bit longer than usual. I'd say, like,
Are you going to put it in?
I'm going to put it into here, yeah, basically. So it'll be at the end of it. So when we're all done and we say our byes and our farewells, don't turn it off, please, because
Yeah, you have
there's
to.
an interview with Troy Baker afterwards.
Yeah, you have to listen to us first.
Yes, we are the sweet starter to the main that
The
is
main
coming
event.
up. Which is ironic because like the starter is going to go for like 40-45 minutes,
And
and the main is like only like 15 minutes, 20 minutes long.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you go to like a boxing match and you see like all of the starter fights. And then the main event is like 2 seconds. You're like, oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in and around the area of Arcade Con, and it was lovely. It was a perfect day for it.
Oh yeah.
Which
Did
is
you go to the con? Yeah.
No, sadly enough, I didn't have the foresight to get tickets. They went fast.
Oh, yeah.
So luckily I was able to get an interview with Troy, and it was really nice. I met some people there beforehand. Saw a few of the crew actually. Saw Darren, Kay, Tendai, Anthony, Childless, of course, and they were all there. They were having a great laugh. So yeah, Arcade Con was a lot of fun. Troy Baker was a lot of fun, and that's kind of what I got up to during the week. What did you guys get?
I should say before we move on, just to say that I hope that we can actually get the photo that Graham got with him onto the podcast for the interview, just so everyone can see and understand just how happy Graham was to be doing this interview, because I don't think I've actually seen him smile so much.
I met Joel out of The Last of Us. He's the father figure we all want. Like, I mean, he's fantastic. So guys, what have you been up to? What's your week? Marital bliss. Shen?
Yeah, no, I did 3 things this week. I did my first film review for Geek Ireland.
Yes, you did. It was very well received.
First time writing.
2. Would you like to give us just a quick little thing about it?
Yeah, which is, speaking of cosplays and cons and stuff, like the third act of the film takes place at New York Comic Con, and I said it in my review, is my favourite 2 characters in the whole film was Patrick Warburton's character, and his boyfriend is Michael Dorn. And they play these, like, there's a wedding scene at the start, and they're like these 2 like they're a couple, and they're just these big, like, obnoxious jocks who happen to be gay, and so they're like high-fiving each other, and they're like, when we go home we're gonna have the hardest sex, yeah, deal, and like high-five and stuff like that. Nice. And then it like cuts to them like slow dancing on the dance floor, like looking like touching foreheads, being really in love and stuff. And then later on they're at Comic-Con. Patrick Warburton's dressed up as the Tick, and Michael Dorn is dressed up as Worf.
Oh my god!
Because they're in cosplay.
Because Patrick Warburton plays the Tick.
I knew that, yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's
why I started laughing.
Oh, right.
And Michael
I'm not
Dorn
just one of those people who laughs when I don't understand things. I'm not Joey from Friends.
And they spend their whole time at Comic Con beating up nerds because it's fun. And then they just keep going, man, I love this place. And then they're like there's this like guy walking by, and they just like give him a wedgie and stuff. It's really funny.
Do you know
to me, they absolutely stole the movie, and I would watch a movie that is just about those characters. And I hope
there's a spin-off. There could be a spin-off. I mean, did you know? You know the scene? There's because I listened to some other podcasts. The scene with the angry stormtrooper. That's Ralph Garman.
Oh really?
That's Ralph Garman from Kevin and Smith.
Yeah,
Hollywood Babylon.
Yeah, they're in New York and they're in a car, and they get they nearly hit these 3 people walking across the road, and it's a stormtrooper, Darth Vader, and a Jedi. And then they're like, "What are you doing? You guys are." It's Ted and Mark Wahlberg, and then Amanda Seyfried's character, Samantha, and the 3 of them are in the car, and they just like, where are you guys going? And they start getting real angry and stuff. They're like, it's Comic-Con, dude. And then they're gonna go, and then they're like, what do you guys even do hanging out together? He's your boss, and he's your arch nemesis. Nemesis. What are you guys doing hanging out together? And then was it Samantha says something about, like, she's just like, yeah, you guys, like, where do they get from? Star Trek? And they're like, whoa, hey, whoa. And then like Ted and John are like, sorry guys, that wasn't cool. We're really sorry. Like, it starts off as a fight, not just deflates the whole fight. It's really funny.
That's great.
So there's some good writing in it that way. Like, there is a no, not really.
Oh, good.
There's not a lot of jokes from the first film. The only thing is they put in this whole side story with the character of Donnie, who's your man from the first one, who's like trying to steal Ted.
Oh yeah.
And he comes back and basically just does the same thing again, and it's really kind of stupid, and it only takes up about 10 minutes the whole film. And it's just there for the sake of it. I don't know why.
It's kind of silly.
And you think it's going to take a very different direction because he's working with Hasbro, the toy company.
Oh my god!
And they sort of just like realise what they're doing is really bad, and they just step aside, and then it's just him being a lunatic, and it's just kind of like it seems really like forced in there as a story.
It does seem.
Where with the whole Hasbro thing, I thought it was really going to go in a different direction and stuff.
I feel like there should have been like a Transformers thing going on.
Yeah, there's loads of Transformers in it in the background. And then there's like your man from Hasbro, the guy who's like the CEO or whatever. He has like a huge Optimus Prime in his office.
Of course he does.
And but they have what is the bang?
That is upstairs.
Oh, okay. It's really loud on this.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's also loud in the apartment. So, as I will say, shut up.
Anyway, so that kind of story seems really just forced in and stuff. And the film is over nearly just short of 2 hours.
A lot of comedies are doing that these days.
And it just seems kind of
Doesn't it feel
way
like
too
a lot
long.
of films in general,
As I said,
yeah.
there's probably about 40 minutes there that are just jokes for the sake of jokes that just don't contribute to the plot. But it's a very Family Guy format. It's very
Seven MacFarlane style. Just to have jokes.
Like
for
how
the
many
sake of jokes.
cutaways are in Family Guy and American
Yeah,
Dad?
there's a lot of cutaways in this, but they're with the characters. It's really weird.
You can see Graham's face.
I'll
now.
see. I'll go see
It's a good laugh.
Like if anyone saw the Graham Norton episode with Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg,
Which one? The
one
where he was
the
drunk?
most recent. No.
It's more recent one. It's probably for Ted 2, is it?
Yeah, it was for Ted 2, and they were saying how, because I haven't actually seen Ted 1,
good.
but apparently he has to learn off this list of like 50 things to say or something like that. And Seth MacFarlane gave him another list to do in the new one, but cut it out.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just like, thanks for that. So they made him do it during the show instead, so he'd be able to do it. And then
Mark
they asked him to do the. They asked him to sing the Thunder Buddies song as well, which is actually really funny.
Oh, it's brilliant, especially when you don't know it's coming.
No, there's some good laughs in it. I went on a feminist rant, but you can read mine.
That's right, Shane, the feminist.
Who knew?
Marriage is
not my wife, that's for sure.
To be fair, it really feels like because of what's going on in Marvel and what's going on a lot now in pop culture, it seems like everyone's kind of getting their inner feminist out. Because I kind of felt like what was happening with me today with the news that we'll get to in a little bit, because that is very much what Olivia wants to talk about.
Well, actually, sticking to the feminist theme.
Oh, I love it.
That was what my wife actually. I put up on Facebook going, "Hey, anybody have questions for this episode?" And she was the only person who actually commented on my one, and she said, "Talk about when is Flash going to get a decent female character?"
When Felicity crosses over, that's when.
Yeah.
It's simple. Or when Caitlin becomes Killer Frost. Or when Iris becomes a well-written character.
Dies.
Yeah, I was going to say when Iris dies
character.
and someone comes in to replace her.
We talked about this. This is not her fault. This is not Candice Patton's fault.
No, it's not.
No, it's not her fault. It's
I'm
just
talking
the
about
character.
Iris.
We're talking about the character, not her herself.
No, I think they need to improve their female writing anyway.
They do.
I
think the CW need to improve, because Arrow isn't exactly, apart from Felicity, and during season 3, Felicity wasn't great.
No, she wasn't.
No, she
was all a bit kind of.
She was a bit moany.
They just made her. She just made her the girl who's just in love with.
Yeah, I want to be loved.
Yeah, Tia got better.
She did actually.
She did.
She suddenly became relevant.
Yeah, and then she became Red Arrow. It's just like
she became
nice.
Speedy.
Red Arrow.
Speedy.
Red Arrow.
She's speedy.
She's got Arsenal's outfit.
But she's speedy.
Fine. Anyway, Olivia. Your turn.
Are we ready for the rant?
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, well, some of you may or may not have seen today. Today is, what day were you say? Wednesday? That it was announced who is going to be playing Elektra in the new Daredevil season. And a lot of you, well, not a lot, actually, only 2 people really voiced the opinion to me, very much disagreed with what I had to say. So I'm just going to clarify a few things about where I was coming from with this. First of all, I have done a lot of work in film and television, and I've also cast my own web series as well. So from when you get a brief for a character, you are going to have 3 main things on that list. You are going to have, first of all, what the character looks like, what you want the character to look like, pretty much. You're also going to have acting experience necessary to play the role, and also any more desirable skills or talents that you want the person to have.
That's really kind of a side thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's only a side thing.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff can be picked up, but they will always say, if you have any of these skills, it will be a bonus for you.
For example, dancing, fighting skills.
Dancing and martial arts skills was the one listed in this. And for the casting call for Elektra, they said must look like they can pass for Mediterranean. And must have substantial acting experience with a good show reel. And must have the dance and martial arts experience. So they were the 3 things that were put out for Elektra.
Does that mean that Elektra's going to be a good dancer, or does it just mean that her martial arts is going to look like a dance?
Yeah, basically, they always say because a lot of martial arts, it can look very blocky, but for Elektra, they wanted to flow a little bit more smoothly.
Yeah,
so
if
you have dance experience, it just says that you can be more smooth with the routine, because action sequences are choreographed, which is like a routine. So I went through Elodie Young's talents within this list. And unfortunately, a lot of people seem to take great offence to the fact that I said that I did not think that she looked Greek enough. I will just say, I did put into my review, I am Greek. I know what a feckin' Greek looks like. And I just feel that mainly because they made such a big deal of saying about the Greek in season 1.
Yeah, Foggy saying it.
Foggy actually says it to Matt, mentioning the Greek in class that he was sitting next to or something like that.
Yeah.
My question is, why go down, which they're clearly going to do, which I'm totally fine with as long as they hadn't done this big thing first. It's like, if they're going to go down the sort of, like, she's actually like a mixed race, kind of like half Greek, half Asian, Cambodian,
half
or
French,
whatever type of thing.
It's too many halves.
It's like, why did they make such a big deal of saying the Greek? Because yes, Elektra is referred to as the Greek
assassin.
And a Greek assassin, and then cast a person who does not look Greek, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people are saying it's like, oh, it's not fair for you to just judge her on looks, and it's like, well, it's not the most important thing in this, but also, like, I've seen her in quite a few things, and I also don't think she's a very good actress either. And I did not know it at the time of writing the review, but she is a black belt in karate. And I think that because of that, and because Daredevil, like, they even said it in the press release that all of the action sequences and stunts that they are known for will be spectacular. Because of that, I think that that's probably what gave her the edge over maybe some of the others. Maybe. A big maybe, because I think she's going to have to be, like, I don't know, like a contortionist to be able to make it look so good to compensate for her not necessarily looking right for the role, in my opinion, but also probably not being able to provide the acting talent required for it as well.
Is this weird for you? Olivia, because when we hear things like Idris Elba has been cast as
his character in
what was this?
Thor, I can't think of the name of the character.
Heimdall. Jesus, I don't know how I dropped that. When Idris was cast as Heimdall, there was a huge uproar. I didn't get it. I still don't really get the problem. My problem with this, what's her name again?
Elodie Young.
It's weird. It's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Elodie is the thing that she's not a good actress. Everything that I've seen her in, she's been terrible. What I did find interesting is like people like Olivia's the closest person to me that I know that would find this as an ethnicity problem. Like it's very like how did you find the fact like if you look at it it's weird that people go, I don't care if Heimdall is cast as a black person, even though in all manners of comic bookdom he's always been white.
Yeah.
Like I mean like
other comparisons would be sticking with Daredevil in the film, the late 90s film, was it early?
Yeah,
was Michael Clark Duncan played the Kingpin.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
And then you go over to
Marvel still
Marvel
Human Torch is now black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nick Fury was brought in as Nick Fury from Ultimates, kind of Nick Fury, but he was written to look like Nick Fury in case
Samuel Jackson, the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Mark Millar was a fan, so
which was it's kind of a
that's fine. But no, like
fine. But as a counter argument, I don't think that's that much of a big deal. I think it's the acting ability is really the big deal.
Yeah, me too.
And as well, I would say the way Elektra is drawn in the comics, she kind of looks a little Asian, I think, and rather than Greek. And the actress whose name I keep forgetting,
Elodie
Young is, I think, she looks really like how Elektra is drawn in a lot of the comics.
She does kind of look like her. Olivia's dying right now.
Though Elektra is always drawn in as least clothing as possible, with as big as boobs as humanly possible, to still be flexible.
That is kind of what I was sort of laughing at there when you were saying, oh no, she's drawn like, it's like,
What I find very interesting is the fact that
she's a martial artist.
Is that the fact that we're going to have to worry about the fact is everyone, whenever I put up something that I felt, someone always counter-argued with it. And what I found very interesting was they were like, Sure, has Marvel ever had missteps in their casting? Has Daredevil ever had any? And I said, okay, no, but it's a first season, still young. Look at Heroes. All you have to do is look at Heroes. First season, spectacular, and then boom, gone.
Yeah.
And it's because that they've been so on point and, in my opinion, traditional with the castings for it up until now.
Yeah.
And that's why this sudden change was a bit surprising. So it was more that it was unexpected rather than I think it's wrong. Because I agree that like sometimes you need to change things up a little bit, especially for modern times. And it was just a surprise because they made such an emphasis over being Greek. And then also, let's face it, Greece needs something right now. You know, they need some.
It's not that podcast. It's not that type of podcast.
I know, but still, I'm just pointing out. You know, this was something that like my cousins have like found out this news as well, and I did get a message from one of them being just like, no, that was like one thing that was ours, and it's
she
like,
was ours.
And it's like I even had like a look over like Twitter and everything like that, and no one seems to be giving an actual opinion one way or the other. They're just saying, oh, this has been cast. So I think I the only other things that I've seen is like the Asian community are actually saying that it's great that there's now an Asian female superhero, and I was just
but
like,
there already is.
Yeah. I was like,
Psylocke is technically
is she?
Well, Olivia Munn isn't, but is she?
No.
But Psylocke the character is.
Oh, well then maybe they're trying
Psylocke
to...
the character is Asian.
She's never been cast.
No, that's true. But what I'd go with is, quality of person. This is another female character, who is representing a culture, who is representing an ethnicity and a culture, and Marvel have not put their best foot forward with this.
Yeah,
they have not chosen a good actor. No. To be another Marvel female character,
which should be a strong character.
She needs to be strong.
She needs to be strong, and like if anybody has seen the film Still, Elodie was playing Aidan Gillen's girlfriend in that, and there is one scene in particular where, like, she is a broken human, and basically she just completely overacted the entire scene. Like it was supposed to be like. It was supposed to be something really like important in the entire like scheme of things, and she just completely overacted the entire thing. So for me, I would not like have faith in her being able to have the actual balance of Elektra's, strong-willed, strong female, but still having
like she's insanely strong.
Yeah, but still having a bit of that vulnerability that she has.
She kills Wolverine one time, doesn't she?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or she kills Daredevil.
Well, she comes back from the dead with the hand.
That's
and
cool.
Then she kills everyone.
Like she's used against Wolverine, and like I remember there's a scene where she's like literally sticking her side through Daredevil, and he's like, oh, because he can't believe it. She's like, she's insanely dangerous.
Yeah,
and it's just, and I said this to people: Daredevil, great action, spectacular action. But what really sold Daredevil for me was the quality of the acting.
Yeah.
And I mean,
well, now there's a couple of things I want to just counter argument is.
Yes,
you're saying they made a big deal out of her being the Greek. It was one line in one episode. It was not made a big deal out. It was a tease for fans.
Yeah, but still.
That's true.
And it was whatever happened to that Greek girl.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But
that was the line.
But still,
so,
calling her the Greek girl.
Down.
But they still called her the Greek girl. Whereas, like,
would you have preferred girl?
They're clearly. That girl who used to wear red. That
wouldn't have done it. That wouldn't have done it. Well, that would have done it, but we didn't.
What's Elektra's civilian name? Even
Elektra Nachos.
Is it Nachos?
Nachos.
Well, if you just say whatever do you want, what's her name? Nachos or something. Like they could have done that, but still they
could have done that.
The fact that they still chose the phrase Greek is the bit that. If they emphasize Greek,
it's like
because she's referred to as the Greek. Like,
the other thing I would say about with the acting is I'm just going to have a little bit of faith in.
That's true. Steve tonight.
For this one very simple reason, and you should know as an actor, and you should know as an actor, and I know as a director, that sometimes actors are only as good as their director in things. You look at, I think Natalie Portman's a very good actor, terrible in Star Wars, because you work with an actor who's not very good with actors and things like that. So she could have just had a little bit of a bad look.
No, very
and
much.
especially as somebody who wouldn't necessarily be. Is she traditionally trained as an actor first, or is it something she's fallen into?
I have no idea.
So it could be something she's fallen into from other things, like maybe she's modelling or something first.
Kieran from the...
So with the right director,
guidance.
they could
very
find
much so.
a better
Oh yeah,
actor.
and I feel that way too. It's just, you know, when you first hear about castings and people want your
It's
opinion
the
on it,
knee-jerk
it's
reaction.
like my opinion is I'm not very happy about
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
before
I'm
your
still,
mental block kind of censors you.
yeah, so like it's going to be one of those things where like I'm still going to watch it, I'm still going to give her a shot, I'm going to hope that she pulls it out of the bag, but then in the back of my mind I'm kind of wondering of like one of those things of, geez, is she even going to make it into it? Because because from what I've seen of her, she's that bad. So it has happened.
I haven't seen any clips of her acting. So
Like it has happened.
I might change my mind when I see some.
It has happened in the past.
Watch G.I. Joe.
Some people get like replaced before, like after like 6 weeks of filming and things like that. Like these things do happen. But so like I like for her own sake, I'm sure she's a lovely, lovely girl. And for her sake, I hope that
and for your sake, you hope she doesn't listen to this.
Olivia, they're all lovely.
They're all lovely girls.
Weren't they all?
But like for me, I just feel that she only ticked one of the 3 boxes that a casting director should be looking for. I actually personally quite liked one of the girls whose audition tape was leaked, Louisa Malone. Louisa Malone. I actually quite liked her for the role. And then Graham mentioned
Gina Carano. She was. I've seen her in 1 or 2 films, and she is awesome. And the sad part is now looking at like when I looked at her, I was like, and I reminded myself of her. I was like, oh, she could have been a really great Wonder Woman.
She could have been a great Wonder Woman, and then we were saying
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot could have been a great Electra.
She could have worked.
So we're kind of like, just sort of switch them about, it would have been fine.
And then Elodie Young is just left out in the cold with no
Olivia, you should have auditioned.
Did you not see my big Instagram thing of like,
you did,
hello, your Greek is writing?
Yeah, but like how old
Get
is...
Marvel to the Greek, no?
Like how old is she going to... Is she supposed to be portraying? Like how old is Matt in this?
I don't
Well,
know.
they're
She's in her 30s anyways. Elodie Young is in her 30s.
Yeah, she doesn't look 30.
Well, character-wise, they're...
Late 20s?
I would say, yeah, they're late 20s because they finished law school and they were junior associates in a law firm for a couple of years, and then they've gone on their own. So
they're at least
they would have to be
25, 26?
No, they'd have to be 27 plus.
27,
yeah. I would say about 28, 29.
But it is interesting that we've got Punisher and Elektra now cast in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
that is like, I mean, like for everyone's opinions, and sure, everyone's is always going to be different. That is still amazing that we're going to have Elektra and Punisher possibly share the same screen with Daredevil.
I think it's going to be interesting because what you were saying, I remember you were saying before when they said they were going to put Punisher in. Both Punisher and Elektra are both killers.
Yes.
And
Matt
Daredevil is not.
Yeah, Daredevil hates that.
He's a bit of a Batman type.
He has killed though.
Oh, he has killed.
He has had his dark times. The Badlands arc, I believe, where he leads the Hand Ninja. Like he takes over and he leads the Hand Ninja. There's a Shadowlands, I believe is the arc, and it's just like it's an evil Matt Murdock. Okay, in a black and red outfit. Okay, leading the Hand.
Is he killed and brought back to dead by the Hand, and he's evil?
No, he just takes over the He just takes over the Hand because they're leaderless, and so he just decides this is my time.
I suppose it's better him lead them than someone else. People have to die, but maybe less. Under his
but
command.
he does kill, and he gets enemies like Wolverine's enemy, and it's just like, oh, it's just. I mean, I'm a bit sad about the quality of actor going ahead with this, but I mean, like anyone, it is true. You can have a bad role, you can have a bad couple of roles. All it takes is the one good role. Like I mean. That's what I'm hoping for Jai Courtney. Oh, Jesus. Please be a good Captain Boomerang. Please be a good Captain Boomerang.
Did you hear that he actually said that he cringed when he heard that he was going to be Captain Boomerang?
Yeah, but so what? If he's anything like your man out of Arrow, the Spartacus actor, brilliant.
He was pretty good.
I'm
sorry, Jai Courtney was also in Spartacus.
I know.
It was Varro. Varro?
I never watched Spartacus.
Anyway, with the just kind of we touched on a little bit there. I think with the kind of female thing you're talking about, like again, will this be not a strong female cast by Marvel once again? The way she's written in, and it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with aka Jessica Jones.
It's not called that,
is it not?
It's called just Jessica Jones.
Oh, okay. But I'm so surprised they never went the Misty Knight character because she ties into our current understanding.
But isn't that technically what they kind of did with Rosario Dawson's character? She's kind of a Misty Knight, a proto Misty Knight. Isn't that kind of what she is?
Who?
Rosario Dawson's character, Claire. Daredevil.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe
she's like supposed to be like a product because she will be because Rosario Dawson has stated she is the tissue that connects all of the TV shows.
Yeah.
She's going to be she's basically going to be fixing moves for everyone.
She is brilliant in it.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Really
She'd have been a good. She would have been a good
lecturer.
Yeah, she would have been a good lecturer.
I would have been alright with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought she was going to be what's she called? Nightingale or night nurse.
Yeah. Well, she is. She the character of Claire is one of the night nurses.
Yeah.
So it could eventually happen, but for now, like Rosario Dawson has said, for now, no. It's not.
But Misty Knight she's a cop who loses her arm in an accident caused by Stark technology, and then Tony Stark builds her a mechanical arm, and she becomes a private detective
with a robot arm.
That's so cool.
And she's badass.
Sweet.
She was brilliant. She'd be such a perfect character for the
She's still around.
universe. And she started Heroes for Hire as well. And she's a defender, which is what Netflix are trying to do. So I'm really surprised they didn't put her in.
She might be for the second lot of...
maybe...
Because they have said...
I'd say season 2 of Defenders.
Because they have stated that, this first lot of Netflix things sets up the Defenders. Maybe the second lot is where they introduce, where Luke and Danny... where Luke and Danny set up Heroes of Hire with her as kind of like their
secretary.
Yeah. No, not secretary, sergeant or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what you'd call her to them.
Like, I know, yeah.
Benefactor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that'd be for maybe phase 2 of Netflix.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things that I think it's probably the one fault. I'm sticking with this females represented in Marvel thing. Come on, Olivia, get in there.
You're so better.
I can't get a word in edgeways between you guys.
sorry.
It's your own fault for not knowing everything.
I thought one of the biggest failings of a female character in all the Marvel films, and which was probably one of their best films overall, was Gamora.
Oh god, she was awful. She's a Disney princess in every type of the word.
She is meant to be a living weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's the most dangerous woman in the universe.
Yeah. She has fucked Tony Stark, and by fucked Tony Stark, I mean without his permission. Like he was kind of the
That's a really funny comment.
What would you call it? He was the catcher? Receiver? Is that the term?
Yeah. Well,
like she was the aggressor. Yeah. She was very forward.
She used him.
Yeah, she used him basically.
There's a really funny series panel in the comics where
so
he's like trying to charm her, and then she just kind of goes, "Okay," and it just suddenly cuts to him
in bed,
lying in bed, going, "Ow, ow," and then she's just going, "So you done?" Right, I'm gonna go back to the bar.
So yeah, she
just gets up and leaves. Yeah, because she's like, "I'm bored now."
She usually looks at him, looks at the camera, like basically like.
I think she actually says. I think she says something like, "Is that all you got?" And he just goes, "Ow," and that's it. It's really funny.
She's like this ultimate weapon. Like it's stated in the description of the film what she is. She's a living weapon.
They made her
not that.
They made her kind of dopey in the film.
The only
she was very princessy.
The only fight she wins is one she actually only ties, and that's with her sister played by Karen Gillan,
who actually is brilliant. She plays Nebula really well.
With the screechy voice, but
Scottish.
So like
Scottish.
Squeaky. No, and but it's just like she just. I was reading an article there the other day online, and it actually had like Gamora versus lose. Gamora versus lose. Gamora versus rescued by Star-Lord. Gamora fights rescued by Star-Lord, and then it's like tie Nebula, and it's like she doesn't win a single fight in the whole film, and she's meant to be like the biggest badass motherfucker.
Yeah, like she, like in the comics, she is like she, and the thing is like she doesn't, because I watched the film very recently. It's just like she gets like killed almost a lot. Like the whole thing is.
She's the damsel in distress, which is not what the character is.
Yeah, and like I mean, it's all about we've got to save the people, and the people will die. It's like no, you don't act like that. She's supposed to be kind of unfeeling, but at the same time, she has this brutal honesty that's really kind of oddly charming.
Yeah,
be that
instead of saying we must save all the people, we can only save some people.
Yeah, but it's Marvel, so you save everyone.
But the only reason she's even in the Guardians is because there are means for her to fight her dad. Thanos, and that's it.
It's the same with Drax.
Yeah,
like, pretty much everyone just because that's what the thing is. But then on this, I love that I can do this now. On the flip side of it, it looks like Wonder Woman is being really well portrayed.
Oh, okay, cool.
All the pictures they're showing, her front and center of the Trinity. Like
Yeah,
they released
that was interesting.
EW released a picture ahead of Comic-Con that basically showed the Trinity, and Superman's on the right, Batman's on the left, and right smack dab in the center is Wonder Woman, front and center, like ahead of them.
Yeah,
And
she's the
like,
main
yes!
focus of that photograph.
And then there's like Zack Snyder was quoted as saying she has a huge role in Batman v Superman.
Oh, really?
I have, and people might take this the wrong way. I have this really odd suspicion because there's a picture online. People might have seen it at the stage where Batman and Wonder Woman are clearly at a party.
Yeah.
They're at a ball or something because they're in civilian garb. And I honestly think Bruce Wayne and Diana have known each other for a good couple of years, and he is in her ear saying, "You see, Superman. He is a threat. You need to take care of this threat
You're
because
not
Wonder
strong
Woman,
enough to do it.
yeah, because Batman's not strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you read the comics about Wonder Woman and that, she is actually the most brutal of the three of them. She even states in the comics, "How many of your rogues are still alive, Bruce? Like Joker, Scarecrow, they have killed hundreds of people. How many are alive? Superman, all his rogues are still alive. Flash, Aquaman, everyone, pretty much alive. Me, if I get someone, they're dead." And she's right. She's killed for the sake of good and for the greater good.
Yeah.
And if they can portray that in the film, and I trust Zack Snyder to do something like that, she could be the female superhero that we've been wanting. Because I will say this, I kind of getting superhero male fatigue, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I want a strong female character. I miss Buffy.
Yeah.
I miss Buffy.
Yeah.
And we haven't had anyone really like Buffy, I think, in a very long time.
I went to
can't
her
actually
house
think of
and she
anyone.
wasn't there. I knocked and tried, but
Yeah,
she didn't
no,
answer.
no.
She hasn't been taking care of the garden either.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, the front yard looked really, really messy. For
She
those
was-
of you who don't know what I mean, I actually genuinely went to Torrance, California and found the Buffy house.
Cool.
And so that's
But
where
she's
the
off
joke
slaying
comes
with
from.
all her Slayer sisters.
I suppose.
She's got an
Last we
army.
heard they were in Italy anyway.
Yeah. And like creating an army to fight Angel. That's what I heard. Yeah, because there's an arc in the later issues written by Joss.
Oh,
where
I started in
Angel.
the series. Even in Angel, there's
Yeah, it's alluded to.
yeah,
Yeah, she's in Italy.
in Italy. Yeah.
In the later and in the later arc in the Buffy comics, she's fighting Angel because Angel's trying to destroy magic.
Oh.
But
Again?
Angel's no, but he's good. Magic has to be destroyed. She doesn't want it to be destroyed.
Okay, sorry.
It's very interesting, and he's
Are
like
you on season 8? Is it?
9. It's gone. It's on season 10 now.
Yeah,
It's
because
still written by Joss.
I've read season 9, and in that magic was destroyed. The seed.
Then he won.
But,
Spoiler.
so then you're on season 8, not 9.
I'd say it's 8 then. Yeah.
And I just spoiled it for you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I was kind of, but yeah,
it's,
I mean,
it's about the how, Graham.
it's about the when.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a bit of a
Yeah,
technical
we had a
problem.
really weird technical difficulty
We got
there.
cut off mid-rant.
A little
It's all right.
glitch.
But yeah, so we'll just end.
So
with a
feminism rant over.
Gamora, you need to work on your power.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
core.
no, James Gunn, Disney, Marvel need to work on her power.
Probably, yeah.
And now for the question.
Yeah.
So are we going to start with the one that I got? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
do it,
yeah,
yeah.
go.
very much
So we have a question in from Erin Fahy. Yes, a relation to me. And she's asking us...
No privileges at all.
Shut up. She's asking us, in light of the announcement of a Han Solo prequel film, Graham does a happy dance, who do we think should play young Han?
Well, I think who was it? Your man from Kingsman.
Taron Egerton.
He's perfect. Watch that. All you have to do is watch Kingsman, and he plays basically an English version of Han Solo. Also, who's not living in the future or the or the distant past in another galaxy. So
There have been quite a few names thrown about since this news was announced. One of them being Josh Hutcherson.
too short.
Who's that?
He's
Hunger
Peter in
Games.
the Hunger
Peter.
Games.
Too short.
yeah.
Speaking of Hunger Games, Sam Claflin, who was also he plays Fennec.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's a good lad.
He was actually one of the first people that I thought of. I thought of him, and I thought of the chap who is going to be playing Captain Hook in the new Pan film.
Oh, Garrett Hedlund.
Garrett Hedlund.
He's very good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a very good actor. He
He's
was also
very
with
good too.
Sam in Tron 2.
And
He's very good, man.
he was also in Troy.
Yes, I don't even remember. He was in Troy.
He was the cousin.
Yeah, who got
Achilles'
killed.
cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also they've mentioned William Moseley. Now, some of you may know him as Prince Peter in Narnia, or they might know him as Prince Liam in the E-hit show The Royals.
Oh, he's aged well.
Hasn't he?
He looks very different now.
I
He looks very different.
Looking at that picture.
Look,
I have a photo of him on my phone
There
right
ain't
now
no
showing the guys.
There ain't no baby fat in that face anymore.
So basically what we're trying to say
He
is...
was the real rain face.
Yeah,
Peter in
he was the
Narnia.
eldest.
Yeah, he was the eldest,
I
yeah.
wouldn't think that's him at all.
But basically, what we're seeing here is that like a lot of the favourites so far, or the names thrown about, are actually from the UK.
Again, yeah. Americans are not happy with this.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Americans
They're
are
not-
actually
I
not.
saw
Like,
a face there who I
they're-
think, in terms of personality, put across is your man from Teen Wolf. What's his name?
No,
Styles.
not Dylan O'Brien.
It's not Dylan O'Brien? Who is it?
Or is he? I saw him there. I think he'd be great.
No,
Why?
I totally disagree.
Have you seen Teen Wolf?
Yes.
He's brilliant!
But he's not Han Solo material.
I think
Kinda
I
is.
think he'd pull off the
I
local
think he'd pull
road
off-
very well.
No, I would actually even say Scott Eastwood could probably do a better job than Dylan O'Brien.
He looks too old.
Yeah,
That's
Scott
the-
Eastwood
that
is too old.
Scott Eastwood
'Cause
is
you know
too
what-
old, but I'm just saying he would
You know who
probably
my
still
first
do a
choice
better job.
was? Norman Reedus. But I was like, no, Norman Reedus is actually too old to be a young Han Solo.
Who's
For a
that
second there, I thought you were going
That's
to say...
Daryl out of The Walking Dead.
I thought you were going to say Ada Butterfield.
No!
Because we
Though
know...
Asa deserves work.
Because we
Oh,
know
yeah.
how much Graham loves him. But
He's
any,
good.
any
Man from
picks-
Enders
Yeah,
games.
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
brought
He made
Picks
the tears
yourself?
in Ender's Game. Is that
Um,
Darren Criss? Is that Darren Criss?
Darren Criss is also
Miles Teller, I
passed
guess.
around. Miles Teller. Another name is Zac Efron. No, thank you.
What's wrong with Zac Efron?
And Angel.
He's a very, very good actor.
He's a very
Angel
funny
Elgort
actor.
was also thrown about.
Who?
Angel Elgort. Is that
I
how you
have
pronounce
no
his
idea
name?
who that is.
He's
No
the
idea.
dude from The Fault in Our Stars. And
Oh,
is
no.
he also in the Divergent Insurgent?
Probably.
Yes, he is.
Isn't
yeah.
everybody?
I
in
don't
that?
like
yes,
him.
they play boyfriend and girlfriend in Fault in Stars, and then their brother and sister in Divergent.
Creepy.
Yeah, no.
But no, I like. I'll get Taylor Edgerton. I like him.
Yeah, he would probably be my.
He's
my
charismatic.
favourite.
He's got kind of the look, and he's a great actor. I've seen him in several films, in particular Kingsman. He was also in that film with Alicia Vikander and
A Testament of Youth.
A Testament of Youth. He was the brother.
Brilliant in
He was the
that.
brother, and I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, he was Edward.
Yeah, he was her brother. Didn't even recognize him. It might as well have been two different people.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Got a lot of pedigree on him, and we've seen he can do the action
Yeah.
scenes.
There's two last names that have been thrown about.
Oh,
One of them being to keep in touch with,
Who?
what was the thing? Indiana Jones. Oh,
I-
the
I-
name
I-
just
I
totally
said-
went out of my head. Yeah,
I said Shia LaBeouf. 'Cause
Shia LaBeouf.
I thought not my pick, but that's what I would think would be
He's
Disney
too-
Marvel's
Disney
Lucasfilm's
Marvel's-
pick.
Well, that's one. I guess who the
It's
other
too
one
old.
is?
Who?
Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah. Again, he's a big
No.
fan favorite.
He's
But
a fan favourite. He'd
But I
probably
don't think he
draw the
wants to
crowd,
say-
but I don't think he should do another
No,
film
but
like
I also
that.
don't think he should. I
Because
also don't
he-
think he
but
would
as-
want to have Harrison Ford stamped on him.
not even that, just as Peter Quill, he's too close to the character.
Yeah.
It's
No, I wouldn't go with that.
and he's too old.
Yeah.
He is way too old.
So, if you
So,
had to pick one actor, who would it be?
Dylan O'Brien?
I'm gonna say Dylan O'Brien. Yeah.
I say Taron Egerton.
I say Taron Edgerton as
So
well.
Taron Egerton is our pick
Taron
to
Edgerton
play
beats the crap out of
the
Dylan
young
O'Brien.
Han
Yeah,
Solo.
he probably would actually beat
Beat the crap out of him, though. He would. Especially after, the thing is, Shane hasn't even seen Kingsman yet.
No, I haven't.
When you have seen it, you'd be like, yeah, he could really beat the crap out of him. And then he'd get a lovely little treat at the end.
Manners make it.
No,
for
seriously,
man.
it's a good film.
The
Good.
good.
Yeah.
The good thing is that now that it's been taken away from Lucasfilm, that what would have happened is no matter who they cast, their face would have been CGI'd to
Oh,
look like a
goodness.
young Harrison Ford,
Oh, God.
and it wouldn't have mattered. But now in the new Disney Lucasfilm realm, that won't happen.
Kathleen Kennedy, you won't let that happen.
Yeah.
Guys, that's it for this week.
Stay
Paul,
tuned for
I am so sorry that we could not get your question.
What was Paul's question? Quickly?
Paul's question was basically what comic, movie, TV show that has evoked the most emotion out of us?
Oh, we'll have to get that.
And that is something that kind of needs a whole podcast
to itself.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, Paul would do a whole podcast about that.
Paul. Yeah. Because of that, and because of the fact that we sadly do not have enough time for this, we will do the whole podcast next week all about your question, because that it really is a great question. And so, guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned, because once we say our goodbyes, there will be just a slight pause, and then straight into my interview with Troy. But yeah, from that, I've been Graham.
I've been Olivia.
And I've been Shane.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you're alright, we can start? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I've played many games, Batman Arkham Knight, Bioshock Infinite, many of them, and the guy next to me right now has voiced a lot of the characters in them. Troy Baker, welcome to Speakin Geek.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much for being here.
And, I mean, did you always want to be an actor? When you were young?
I think that's so funny, and it's one of those life lessons that I've learned along the way, is that you don't choose your life. Your life chooses you. And I think a lot of times the frustration that we have in life is because we're not really open to where life is wanting to lead us, that we are set on this path. And I was thoroughly convinced that I was going to be the greatest gift to rock and roll since the Beatles, and I worked really, really hard at it. But that's not where life was leading me, and that's not what it was preparing me for. And I remember we were making I'm sorry, I'm hearing Jeff Buckley right now, and I'm wanting to sing along to Mojo Pen, or Dream Brother. But we were recording our album at the studio, and then right down the hall is where they did a bunch of car adverts. And so I popped my head in the room one day. I was like, I want to do this, and they kicked me out. And a week later, they said, here's your shot. If you really want to do this, get down here and let's see what you can do. And so it's funny how a distraction from what I thought was my dream would eventually lead me down this far more rewarding path that would enable me to return back to my original love, but do it in a way that after I'm prepared and have more knowledge and I think experience. And that's why I'm so proud of this record that we did, is because it has come through all of this adversity and learning and temperament. I was nowhere near ready to make the kind of music that I really wanted to make at that time. And now I have these two loves, that I get to kind of dance between and have affairs with each other, I suppose.
Yeah, because a lot of people know, you were in The Last of Us, you played Booker DeWitt, and you had this wonderful song at the end with Courtney Draper. And it was a wonderfully, very poignant song. That kind of told the story of your relationship, and it's also a kind of it's an Easter egg, I believe, that in the game you don't have to necessarily find it.
If you go down the stairs right before you go.
It'd be impressive if you remember this.
I'm trying to remember. You have a big choice. It's right after you. Oh man, what is the decision? You have a huge choice. It's go to something, and I can't remember. I think, is it Fisk's? But it's a point in the game where if you kind of look around as you do in the game, you go through every trash bin that you can find. But if you go down these stairs, then Booker will see a guitar and he'll pick it up and start playing it, and then Liz kind of chimes and starts singing a song. And that was completely a brainchild of Ken Levine. He wanted to have this moment, and he chose this song. And what was so beautiful about it, that I think unanimously all of us would look back and say that was one of our favorite moments of the process of making the game, because it was this beautiful, kind of tragic moment that we had, because Courtney Draper was literally, her grandfather was on his deathbed. And Ken had no idea about that whatsoever, but as she's singing the song, as we're going through it, tears are just streaming down her face. And it was this really, really beautiful moment that we all got to kind of share. And to me, it in some way reflects one of the things I love so much about games, is that it creates this community of people that we get to, through this game, touch each other's lives and interrupt each other's lives and support each other in such a beautiful way. So I love that moment. And if you haven't played that in BioShock,
you really need to.
Yeah, go back through. And who knows, with this new thing with Xbox One, maybe BioShock will be one of the games that they add to the vault. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, because it is. I've played it. It actually got me to go back to the BioShock series and play 2 again.
It's pretty. Oh, bless your heart. What do you think of 2 now?
To be fair, I loved 1. Was frightened of 1.
1 is fantastic.
2, I still really enjoyed, but then 3 just I mean, it's kind of a pun, but elevated it to just kind of something very different.
Right. To me, what I love is 2 felt a little weird to me, and even Ken kind of says that he doesn't want to talk about BioShock 2. But I loved so much the DLC. Like, if you haven't played all of the Burial at Sea DLC, it's really, really cool, and you get to see this beautiful homage to what BioShock 1 was through that DLC. So if you haven't played it yet, go through it. It's amazing.
And, I mean, like, you're in one of the rare positions that you've actually played Batman.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
And the Joker.
Right.
What is that like?
You know, it's funny, and when we were doing that for playing Superman, I get to play a version of Superman.
It's still Superman.
Yeah, it's still Superman.
It's New 52 Superman.
Right. Very,
with no pants.
Very much. And it was, especially for that game, it's which, you know, it's crazy to think of how big Moabs are now and how big League has gotten. And so I wasn't surprised that they wanted to capitalize on that market and get into that. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like the Old Republic, you know, everybody's in that game. So I'm honored to be in that. And I also love the fact that I get to play Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Because to me, there's far more latitude, and I have the benefit of pulling from literally every iteration of Batman you've ever seen.
You're Bat-Zorro.
Yes. So I get to be the, you know, in comedy of the straight guy. I get to be the straight guy to everybody else around me. Like I'm the Dean Martin, and everybody around me is the Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
So, you know. And I think some of the Travis Willingham to me is my Superman. And more than Brandon Routh or Christopher Reeve, you know, Christopher Reeve and Travis Willingham are my Superman.
No Henry Cavill.
No Henry Cavill.
No.
I just, I think he's devastatingly handsome. I think he's great. I just think that the movie was shit.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
I don't want to say anymore because I really liked it.
Did you?
I was at the premiere. I met him.
I hear he's a fantastic guy.
He's a gentleman. Pure gentleman.
He looked like Christopher Reeve to me.
Yeah, there was a scene where they kind of seemed to be playing an homage to him.
Very, very much so.
But how surreal is it now? Have you got any of your Funko Pops of your characters, the collectible statues, like the various Batmans you may have played?
All over. I have from Arkham City. I have the guys at Triforce gave me the Riddler trophy that lights up. It's really cool. I don't think I got the Batmobile version of Arkham Knight.
I don't think anyone could really.
There were only like 100 of those made, or something ridiculous, like 300 of those made. But yeah, it's really cool because, you know, we just moved into a new house, and I've got my man room kind of finally set up, and I've got, you know, my Last of Us statue, I've got the Delson Rowe statue, I've got the Pagan Men, and I mean, it's so funny, you get older but you refuse to grow up.
Yeah.
So, and you always collect toys that just become a lot more expensive. So to me, it serves as a reminder of that I've been very, very fortunate. I got to play some really, really cool, be a part of some incredible projects, and that to me is not an arrogant statement. It's a very humbling one. It's like, look, man, only by God's good graces are you being able to do this stuff. It's someone because there's a level of trust. Whenever someone says, I'm going to put you in this game, I'm going to spend a lot of money, not just paying you or whatever, but also in everything that comes along with in creating a character, and I'm going to entrust that to you to be the custodian of that character. That's huge, man, and that keeps you humble, and because if someone gives it to you, someone can take it away from you. So at the end of the day, all I want to do is just do a best representation of a character that someone's entrusted to me, and make the team happy. Yeah.
And I mean, Pamela, Troy, what's it like with the fans and everything? How
just going to a convention. What is it like for you guys to, just experience it?
What's your takeaway? I'm curious.
Just watching people kind of just freak out maybe a little bit at Troy.
Oh, I mean...
She laughs at that. She's like, you guys.
No, I think it's... I love seeing his fans, and I like he was saying earlier today, I love hearing people tell him stories of how games or whatever have impacted their lives personally. And it's also just amazing to be able to travel and see different parts of the world and a place as beautiful as Ireland. I mean, I've always wanted to come here, so we love meeting people from so far away that feel close to us in some way. Cause,
I think we find this common denominator, and I think that exists so prevalently in nerddom, is that literally people from all walks of life, from different countries, from different continents. We're going to Chile, and last year I was in the Middle East, and the fact that people in Bahrain and Dubai even know who I am just blows my mind.
That's incredible.
And the common denominator, the thing that we have together, is that we really love nerd culture. We love geeking out over things. We love comic books. We love anime. We love video games. And we get to share in that together. So it's one of the coolest perks of the job. And this is, we're each other's travel buddies.
Yes.
So the fact that we get to,
the best thing.
Throw a bag onto a plane and literally travel thousands of miles, especially because we love to travel so much. Because I think this planet is so unique, and there's a responsibility that we have to see every inch of it that's possible. And this is a really cool way to do that. I mean, people are very gracious to fly me and my wife out and put us up in a hotel and treat us well and give us an opportunity to sit down and have some really cool conversations with people. That's a pretty incredible perk of the job.
And I mean, it's not just video games, it's anime, it's cartoons. You're also, like you said, a musician. This helped you do another passion.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a character from it that you enjoy playing, I mean, you're Hawkeye very much now for Marvel.
Yeah, thank you.
You're also Loki.
Yes.
In anime, you've been so many characters. You were Pain, Yamato, out of Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah.
Is there a character that's kind of stand out to you, or is it just the fact that you did Joker for Arkham Origins, thank you.
And also Assault on Arkham.
Which was amazing, by the way. I only saw that recently.
It's so much fun.
Amazing. If the film is half as good as that, then we're in for a treat.
I think so. I mean, I think it was a great representation of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It was the first animated movie that had a Batman animated movie that had a sex scene, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Is that really the first one?
Think of another one. There wasn't. I mean, Under the Red Hood was
right.
really, really dark.
Yes,
it
was.
didn't even have one.
Yes.
I was like, way to go, man. Good for you that you get that. I think that I can't believe they kept it in the movie, but when Joker picks up that guy's helmet and he goes, "Oh, Denzel, what have they done to you?"
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, "There's no way they're going to keep that in there," and they did.
And they did, because I was remember watching it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah,
they
said that. That and I'm back, bitches. It's such a great. Such a great moment, and again, that's a character that has been iterated on so many times, and every time I learn something new about the Joker thing. Even like Cesar Romero, you can learn something about the Joker, the fun of it, the maniacal, whimsical nature of the Joker is played. He did so well doing.
And is that your take on it? I mean, everyone knows you play a younger kind of Mark Hamill Joker, but is that kind of where you took your inspiration from? Like, what was your audition process for the Joker?
Very, very much. I mean, I was fortunate in the fact that I definitely, whatever version of the Joker I was going to do needed to point and fit appropriately within the Arkham universe.
Yes.
And Mark Hamill is my Joker, and I grew up watching the animated series. Of course, I played Arkham Asylum, and even when I was reading like The Killing Joke or whatever, Mark's voice is what was in my head for that. And to me, he perfectly encapsulates all of the elements: the danger, the chaoticness. To me, he's not sociopathic or psychotic. Maybe there's a psychotic split there, but he's so calculating, so crafty, in what he does. He's a highly intelligent individual. I think that he's just kind of abandoned as again he says in The Killing Joke, reason and logic don't make sense in the world that I live in.
Yeah.
You can throw those all away. Madness is actually an evolution that exists above those things. And I looked at it this way, like if you look at the Joker that Mark did, whether it be animated series or especially within the Arkham universe, within Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, that is a laser beam. That is something that has been so focused and honed. And what we see in Arkham Origins is a fire hose.
Yes.
It's just spraying this madness
You don't even
everywhere.
realize when you first are at that crime scene, you don't even realize it's him that's done it.
Mm-mm.
When you're analysing everything that's going on, you're just like, who's done all this?
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh crap, it's him.
Right.
And it's just it's a fantastic iteration. And so, I mean, was that really the career highlight for you to be playing? Did you get to meet Mark at any point?
Oh yeah, Mark and I have worked together several times, and I found out through people within Warner Brothers that Mark gave me the thumbs up on what I did, and that means probably the most to me. And Mark and I have had several conversations about the Joker and what that's meant to him, what his take on the character is, and that for me as a nerd, that's one of the banner days. That would be the highlight. More than playing the character, that's someone that I respect. Respects me in that as well. It's like I'm a part of a very, very small, unique club. I mean, there's more people have walked on the moon that have played the Joker. So I'm very honored to be in that club. So that may be one of the highlights. But you start looking back, and once you start getting a little bit more in that book of jobs and characters that you've portrayed. Each one kind of stands alone as it's either its own book or at least its own chapter within that book, and a story is made up of those chapters, and it wouldn't be the same book if you didn't have those chapters. So I can't pick one out and say this is my favorite above all else, because to me it's all about the complete anthology of what this is. And I don't know where the book ends. It may end tomorrow and we may turn the last page. I have no idea, but in the meantime, all I want to do is try to write and be a part of the best story that I can.
And finally, we saw E3 very recently, and we saw a little bit of your upcoming work, Uncharted 4.
Oh, so good.
You are playing Nathan Drake's little brother?
Older brother.
Older!
But you know what? I think that is a relative term. I think in some ways you could look at it and say it's his older little brother. That was one of the things that we hit on. I was like, okay, so sell me on this. How do we make it make sense that me, who's only a few years younger than Nolan, but definitely, I am in every way Nolan's junior. He to me is the king, and at best I'm the heir apparent.
He's Mario at points, isn't he?
He's incredible.
Yeah.
And to me, it's this. Like, my best friend, Travis Willingham, is several years younger than me. But through life circumstance and just different ways, he very much is a big brother to me. And I think that within the Uncharted story, especially Uncharted 3, we see Nate in this orphanage situation. We see that, he grew up, being kind of that street rat kind of kid.
Yes.
And our story will pick up in 4 kind of in that same world where we see those years and understand this relationship between the two brothers. But I think for me, the treasure hunting and the adventure and everything was something that Sam and Nate had in common. And Nate was able to move on from that. He was able to find his family within Sully and within Elena, and I don't think Sam ever did. So in some ways, I think the elder has become the younger, and the younger has become the elder because they've been able to mature and move past. So it's not just years that make you the older. But it's, they just released the full demo that they showed at E3.
It was fantastic. And chasing after you
is incredible. Yes. It's so incredible. I can't wait for everybody to play it. Yes. We haven't announced a date yet, but hopefully it's coming soon.
We don't need one, we just know that it exists.
Spring, I think is what they said, yeah.
Well, listen, God, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Troy!
There it is.
How that happened?
There's so many names, man. You can just
so
pick
many
one.
names.
Sure.
Troy, Pamela, thank you so much for joining us on Speakin Geek.
Graham, our pleasure.
And we can't wait to see you back in the Irish shores.
Can't wait to be back. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Well done,
Thank
dude.
you so much. I honestly don't know what happened. I honestly think I blanked.
It happens all the time.
Dude,
Because
tell
that's
me.
never,
I forget his name half the time.
to be fair,
Who
like
are
being
you?
schizophrenic. Kind of schizophrenic.
We're gonna we have to
String
talk
up your
about
guitar.
string up your guitar.